Hey, this is lesson 13.2. 13.2 in your chapter 13 Go Math Workbook for 4th graders. We are going to be starting this lesson on page number 723. 723. In lesson 13.1, we talked about perimeter, which is the distance around an object. Now we are going to talk about area. Area is the distance, the measurement of the shape in the inside of it. We went around the shape first with perimeter yesterday, and now we are inside the shape, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So, the essential question for area is, how can you use a formula to find the area of a rectangle? Again, we're talking about formulas. We're going to talk about that some more. But first, we have a lot to learn about area. We have a lot to learn about rectangles. Way more than what we did in 3rd grade. So, because we're going to be using a formula. So let's talk about this. We are on page 723 here. And we're talking about this, the top in this purple box. The base, or B, of a two-dimensional figure can be any side. The height is the measure of the perpendicular line segment from the base to the top of the figure. Whoa, what does that mean? Listen, not a big deal. All that means is that any line, any side of this shape, we can call it the base. Any side, we can call the base. The height is the side that follows that perpendicular line. So here's your base. Now remember, we're talking about rectangles, and so there's always going to be a right angle. Here's your base. You go find that right angle, and then that is your height. Same for this. Here's your base. Here's your right angle. This side could be the height if they wanted it to, but this side could not be the height. Okay? You have to have an adjoining line with that right angle. That's what creates the height. Same for here. This long line here is the base, and this is the height. This side could be the height if they wanted it to, but this line could not be the height because it does not adjoin with the original base using a right angle, okay? The base is the measure of a perpendicular line segment from the base to the top of the figure, okay? So, they have to connect at a perpendicular line, which is a right angle, okay? So, area is the measure. Now, this is a lot of words to say really easy things, so just hang with me. Area is the measure of the number of unit squares needed to cover a flat surface without gaps or overlaps. All that means is area is the amount of boxes it takes to cover up a shape, a section, without overlapping or not touching. They have to be perfectly lined up, nice and neat. A square unit is a unit that is 1 unit long and 1 unit wide. And so that's just what that means is that this is 1. 1 unit, 1 box, that stands for 1. So all of these, this is 1 square unit. It stands for 1 because it's 1, it's a square, and it's a unit. There you go. To find the area of a figure, count the number of unit squares inside the figure. How are the base, height, and area of a rectangle related? So, we're going to work on this table right here. We're going to work on filling this in, okay? Let's start with this blue figure. Let's go across here. The base, it tells us the base is 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if the base is 5 units, we have to determine the height. The height is going to be one of these sides. It cannot be this one because this line up top does not join with the line on the bottom with a right angle. So we got to find a line that uses a right angle and count that. So here in this box, we're going to put 3 units. And then when let me see here. Here we go. This is going to be 3 units. Okay? And then to find the area, we are going to multiply or count. Let's just count, and then we'll go to the formula later. Let's count. How many boxes are in the blue box? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 units. This box is 15 units because I counted all of these. Okay, I just counted these. All right, now the orange. What is the base? We can decide whatever we want the base to be. It doesn't matter. The base. So let's take the base. Let's make the base this short line, this short figure. How many units is that? The base, we're going to call it 2 units. If you flip-flopped them, it's okay. We're going to call it 2 units. And then the line that adjoins our base, so see this, we made this our base. The line that joins our base with the right angle is how many units? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units. 8 units. So this we decided was our height. This is our base. This is our height. Now how many boxes do you count inside of there? 16. 16 units. And the green, ooh, this one is tricky, fun. So let's make the bottom our base, and let's make this our height. Okay, our base and our height. Our base is 3 units. Our height is also 3 units. So how many boxes, how many square units do we have inside of here? 9. 9 units are in there. 9. And I'm writing this wrong. It's not just 15 units. It's not just 16 units. It's not just 9 units. It's 15 square units. So we need to make sure that we have square units written there. Square units. Square. Oops. Units. Square units. Okay? All right. Okay, let's flip over to page 724. Now's where the formula comes into play. Now's where the formula comes into play. All right, we can use a formula. Area equals base times height. So whatever your base is, whatever your height is, multiplying those things together is going to give you your area in square units. You can think of the base and height of a rectangle as length and width, since the length and width are perpendicular. You can write the formula for area of a rectangle as A equals L times W. You can call it base and height, call it length and width, call it whatever you want. All you have to know, well, you can't really call it whatever you want. You have to call it base and height or length and width. But all you have to know is that you multiply those two things together. So area equals base times height. This is where I am. We're going to go right here to A. We're going to use the formula to find the area of a rectangle and a square. So area equals base times height. Either one of these can be either one of those numbers. So our base is 6 and our height is 2. 6 times 2 equals 12. The area is 12. Just 12? Remember in our lesson for perimeter yesterday, we couldn't just put just a 12. We can't just put just a 12. We have to put 12 square, whatever they're measuring, 12 square feet. Just like that. 12 square feet. Okay, letter B. Now we have a square. A square works the same as a rectangle. 2 is our base, 2 is our height. A equals base times height. 2 times 2 equals 4, obviously. The area is 4 square meters. So here's what we've done so far. All you have to remember is this formula, base times height. That's all you have to remember. Okay, and this is going to take some memorization on your part. I know we had some memorization experiences last week. But this is going to take, it's just area is length times width. Area is base times height. That's it. So, that's it. Area is length times width or base times height, and you have to write your answer in square units because you have all those little squares inside of there, and it's not just one unit. It's not just the length of a line. It's actually the measurement of an actual square. So I encourage you to complete pages 725, 726, 727, 728 as you go through here, unless you're in my class. If you're in my class, you should work to complete lesson 13.2 in your Think Central things to do list. Those things will be listed today for you. And so that's what I have for you. That is a review of your Go Math Workbook, lesson 13.2. And I will see you next time for lesson 13.3.